What is up, everyone? Clayton here, and today we're back with another Elder Scrolls 6 wishlist. This is a video series I do every Thursday where we talk about some of the stuff we want to see in the next Elder Scrolls games. I usually take some of your guys' comments and talk about them, and that's what I'm going to go ahead and do today. So the first one is from Stormcroak Brute. He says the ability to make and raise your own town and city would be awesome. You can name it and have the choices to raise your own army, take over other cities. Also, to be able to expand your army or make your city side with armies like the Stormcroaks would be great. So yeah, I've talked about building towns before, I believe. But I think if they're going to do something like this, they'll do the same thing that they did in Fallout 4, or what they're doing in Fallout 4 when it gets released, which is that you can build your own town, you can have your own traders show up, you can have your own townspeople show up, and you can have your own sort of guard. And you can build up defenses against bandits so you won't be able to get overrun and stuff like that. I think it would be too difficult for the game to actually be able to expand your army and take over other cities, because that wouldn't really fit in with the whole story for the next Elder Scrolls game. It might be really difficult to be able to do that, but being able to make a town in a location wherever you wanted would be pretty cool. But I feel like they're going to do the same thing they did in Hearthfire when you build your own house, is that you're going to have locations around the map where you can start a town. And if they want to do something like that, that'd be pretty cool, where you can just be like, I want to build a town in this location, and you buy the deed to that property, and then you go ahead and start your town, name it whatever you want, build up a guard, build up traders, build up caravans that come from that city. That would be the only way I think they would ever do it. And I don't know if they would, since they did it in Fallout, they might do the same thing in the next Elder Scrolls game, because sometimes they base a lot of their stuff off of the different games, which makes sense since they're working on both of them probably at the same time, or one after the other. So yeah, definitely cities would be something that they would, or creatable towns would be something they'd be looking for, but I don't think they could be able to do exactly what you want, where you want to make an army and take over other cities, which would be really neat, but I really don't think they're going to be able to do anything like that. The next one is from Fluxlove, and he says, small multiplayer in addition to single player. Have a game where you and a couple friends could all connect to one another and have to play through in the same world. Have the story reflect this, so this is not 1 to 4 clones of a single player playing along, but rather have a unique story with unique protagonists. Not sure how they could do this, but it would be awesome. It could almost be 2 different telling of stories, one from the eyes of the group, and the one from a lone wolf. So yeah, I've always kind of wanted a kind of, I want to say multiplayer aspect into an Elder Scrolls game, but maybe a co-op would be kind of cool, and that, you could play along with your friend in Elder Scrolls, especially in Skyrim. I had friends that played Skyrim, and we always thought it'd be cool if we could be going through the same story at the same time, collecting the same loot. But I don't really know how they would do that with a story. The only way I could think of it would be whatever save you're going off of. So if you say, if me and a friend are playing along, but it's on my save, they would focus on my character, and all the cutscenes, if there is any cutscenes, would focus on my character, and all of the story would be focused on my character. The character would be called my name, stuff like that. And then if you wanted to go to your other friends, you could play off their save, where it'd be the same thing for them, which they'll go by their name, they'll show their character, and stuff like that. I think that would be the only way they would add the co-op, and I think it'd be really cool if you have the option at least to just be able to play with your friends, because Elder Scrolls has never really been a can play with your friends or anything like that, except for the Elder Scrolls Online. So just having the option to play co-op if you wanted to, with maybe a friend came over and you're just sitting on the couch playing Elder Scrolls together, would be really cool. But I don't think that'd be something they would ever really do, since they haven't really done that in other Elder Scrolls games, and they kind of always focus on the first person aspect and not really having a big group of people going along. It might just affect the story way too much. The next one from the same guy, he says that voice actors, I hope there will be more voice actors. The ones in Skyrim are very talented, but not really that many, and as you play and replay it, it starts to show. I know there's budgets for things, but this is, in my opinion, would be a high priority. So yeah, what he's trying to say is a lot of the characters in this game are voiced by the same people, so you'll be talking to one person in Markarth, especially in Skyrim, and then you go to Windhelm or something, and there'll be the same voice actor for both these people, and it's just kind of disorienting and a big part of breaking immersion, since you're not really able to get to know each character, because you're like, oh, this is this one guy from over here, the same voice actor. All the guards have the same voice actor pretty much. So expand the voice actors and have different voice actors for different people would be important, because there's even some, I can't think off the top of my head, but I noticed like some of the big characters in the game are versus other big characters in the game. So it's kind of, like I said, immersion breaking to have two different characters that are pretty important to the game have the same voice actor. It kind of doesn't really give them their own unique aspect, and it kind of breaks the game for me at least, especially in the immersion part. So having different NPCs with different voice acting would be really cool, but especially for the high up and really important characters in the game, they really need to have different voice actors to other characters in the game. So that's it for this week's of Elder Scrolls 6 Wishlist. If you guys want your comments to be featured, make sure to leave them down below, and maybe I'll get to them. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and this is Clayton, signing out.